Happy Thursday, guys. Today's home workout is an EMOM 20. So we're doing work every minute on the minute for 20 minutes. And there's 4 movements here, so we're doing 5 total rounds. First minute here, guys, we're going for 10 to 15 kettlebell swings. If you don't have a kettlebell, use that dumbbell or any object you can do a swing with. You can also try a soup can, paint can, anything that kind of resembles a kettlebell weight and that shape. Then we're going for 20 to 30 seconds of a handstand hold. If you can't get into a handstand, you guys can get into the top of a push-up or put your feet on top of a box and do a push-up hold with your feet on top of the box there. Third minute, we're going 10 to 15 goblet squats, so pretty much holding a weight in front of us, and we're doing squats, and then 10 to 15 hollow rocks, so we're attacking that core. So today's workout, guys, is not meant to be very high in intensity. Today's more of a recovery and maintenance, trying to get us moving on Thursday here and get us set for the next couple of workouts that are about to come on the Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. So the movements that you choose today, I would choose something that you're not working no more than 45 seconds. If you're going 50, 55 seconds and you only have 5 seconds to transition, you probably pick something a little too hard or just too many reps for the workout. So make sure you take note of that as you're doing the workout, what kind of reps you're choosing for the workout. 20 minutes here, guys, should be again at an aerobic pace as you're doing this. Afterburner today is just a lot of some stretching and strengthening. So we're doing 2 minutes of a banded hamstring stretch. You guys can use a belt if you don't have a band, works perfectly with that as well. Then we're going for 2 minutes per side of a pigeon stretch, so we're attacking that glute. Then we're finishing off with the bottom of the good morning hold, 2 minutes there. So we're stretching and then strengthening that end range of motion that we just kind of opened up, making sure we're strong in those positions before we head to the next day of training. Hope you guys enjoyed today's WOD and Afterburner. We'll see you next for the warm-up video. Good. All right, we're here for the warm-up. 3 rounds here, 50 running skips. So these running skips, guys, we're just working on getting that heart rate up. Also, you can work on that coordination of the skip. So every time you jump up, try and land on the balls of the foot each time. Don't land on the heels, so we can work on that quick control and work on that springiness off the feet. 50 running skips. After that, we're going to 5 inchworms with a tempo push-up, with 1 tempo push-up at the bottom. So for that, guys, that inchworm, start about feet outside hip width there. You can bring it in as you get more comfortable with it, and if you want more of a stretch of the hamstrings. We're going to walk our hands down to that push-up position. Then from here, we're going to go nice and slow on the way down, keeping the elbows in until our chest touches the ground. Then we're going to drive up and then walk our hands in while trying to keep those knees locked out as best as possible so we can feel a stretch in the hamstrings. 5 reps of those, guys. Kind of get yourself moving there, get that push-up down, work on that shoulder or get those pecs activated. Then we're going to go into 5 lateral lunges. So nice wide stance here. Toes can be slightly flared out if you need to make it a little bit more comfortable on you. We're going to initiate by pushing that hip back and then bending in the knee so we can keep that weight in that mid-foot on the side that we're going towards. Get as low as you can while keeping that balance in the foot. 3-second pause, then drive straight up. Watch out that you guys don't get onto those toes, or in case you kind of fall back onto those heels. Try and keep it evenly distributed amongst your foot as you're coming down. 3-second pause, then drive straight up. 5 and 5 on each side. Once you're done that, we're going to go into 10 Romanian deadlifts with a dual arm fly. So find 2 objects, light objects here. I'm going to use 5-pound plates. You guys can kind of use soup cans to be an option. Anything that's light that you can get some activation with. So for that Romanian deadlift there, we're going to think about kind of keeping that soft bend in the knees, but not a complete bend where we go down to a full deadlift, we're gonna put more emphasis on the hamstrings and the glutes. So we're gonna push our hips back. So hips go back, keeping the objects nice and tight in our hands. We're gonna get to about that mid shin. Then from here, we're gonna go for that fly, squeezing the shoulder blades together, back in, and then stand up that deadlift. We're gonna be doing 10 reps of those guys, so go nice and slow, especially on the way down. Push those hips back so you can feel in the hamstrings. And then once you're in that secure position, really try to squeeze in between those shoulder blades as you do that dual arm fly. 3 rounds of that, guys. Once you're done, we'll see you next for the workout.
So for your kettlebell swings, something new that I want to talk about here, guys, that sometimes maybe we miss, we don't mention it enough, is your knee position. So I will see when the kettlebell's going down, things look awesome. As soon as you're about to shift your weight to go up, sometimes I'll see the knees shift. You may not even notice that. But when your knees shift, your weight is now transferring to mid foot to the front of the foot. So now I got my lifters on, but you can still see that the weight is off my heels. So now I'm pushing and driving my hips through my quads. So knee position on the rebound is very critical. So when you go back up, don't let your knees scoot forward too quickly, okay? Keep your knees somewhat back to create tension in those hamstrings, to get everything out of your hips, but coming from the hamstring opposed to your quad. This is such a common problem that is seen on Olympic lifts, whether it be the jerk, whether it be the clean or snatch. This is your time where you can fix that knee position, which is, for Olympic lift, is that second pull, when you're transitioning from the first to second pull. Now, if that's too complicated, or you're not sure what that means, ignore me, just focus on the knee position on your kettlebell swing spin.
Front squats. So for those front squats, guys, we're gonna keep that weight on that front rack position. So we're gonna really pull our elbows up, flare those lats out so we can stay nice and tight here. Make sure you're in your squatting stance. Again, you can go single arm there, or you can go with that one object right in the middle. We're gonna come all the way down, keeping those knees out, chest nice and tall. Make sure that weight is distributed evenly amongst the full foot, and then drive straight up. As we stand up, think about driving up with those elbows as you come out of the bottom of the squat.
Hey, welcome back. That was a doozy of a workout. Hopefully you did enjoy that one. Got it done around 20-minute mark. The afterburn today is, again, emphasis on the recovery. So we're gonna get Yash here. You got the green band. We're gonna start with the banded hamstring here, guys. So a couple points that you want to think about. Leg as straight as possible to get into that hamstring. For those of you that can do that, but it hurts a lot, you can bend your opposite knee to lessen the tension in that hamstring, or if you want to get more, you straighten that knee back down to the floor, where then it stabilizes your hips, keeps your hips in the right position, where it gets a little bit more out of the hamstring. You can also move the band a little bit forward on the ball of your foot, where then you drop your toes down to get the connective tissue with the calf behind your knee into that hamstring. So you can play around with it because you're holding for 2 minutes on both sides. This afterburn you can do later on in the day when you're cooling down end of the day. So after this stretch, guys, I'm gonna get you go into the pigeon pose, where you're opening the hip capsule and stretching your glute. So in your high plank, kick over that foot to the hand, shins across. If you want a deeper stretch, keep it across from left to right, guys. But if it's too much, you can drop your heel to your hip. Also, if your hips, wherever your foot is, you can then bring your hip down to your foot or to the floor. Also bringing your body towards the floor to get more out of that glute stretch to, again, open up the glutes. But if it pinches your hip, don't go so low. Okay, only go as low as you can to get out of that, to get the stretch out of the glute and not feel an impingement in your hip capsule. You're gonna hold that also 2 minutes on both sides. Then from there, you're gonna finish off with your good morning. So, with good morning, we're gonna grab a bar here. Good, so PDC pike here, bar on your back. You're gonna go down into that good morning position where you focus on your knees not moving forward. You focus on your back being flat. If you don't have a bar, you can just go into this position, guys, to stretch out the hamstring, but at the same time, activate your core, where you're almost mimicking that row position where, again, you're getting the activation of your core, but you're getting a stretch in your hamstring. For those that did the Monday workout, you found that row 2-minute buy-in row was tough. It's kind of the same thing, but you want to keep the emphasis on deloading your body. So if you gotta break it up, don't exhaust yourself, stretch out the hamstrings, because that's what the intent is for the afterburner today, guys. Hopefully you had a good Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.